Hello, everyone. My name is Jacob Harbour, and I'm talking about mindfulness today. Mindfulness meditation. Welcome, everyone. Today, we're exploring mindfulness, its ancient roots in Buddhism, and its modern applications in healthcare, education, and corporate wellness. We'll take a look at mindfulness, particularly Vipassana, and its transformation through science-backed techniques such as mindfulness-based reduction and mindfulness-based cognitive therapy. So there's different types of origin of mindfulness, and mindfulness dates back to Siddhartha Gautama, also known as the Buddha, who sought a path to enlightenment and freedom from suffering. Vipassana meditation, which means clear seeing, trains the mind to be fully aware to the present moment without attachment or aversion. So Vipassana meditation, it just shows that you want a clear mind, and just to be able to allow yourself to get in that position to where everything's just out of your head and you could just understand the reason why you're meditating. So this practice involves four different types of exercises. So there's focused breathing, which anchors awareness by observing the natural rhythm of your breath, and you just want to slow down your breath and allow yourself to just understand why you're doing that certain exercise. And then the next one is body scans, which is just releasing tension and just releasing certain part of your bodies, and just letting that bad tension go out. The next one is just observing your thoughts. So right here, for observing thoughts, you're just recognizing different emotions and thoughts as they go through your head. So say you have a bad thought, you're praying and meditating that bad thought goes away, and that God is watching over you to be able to get rid of that bad thought. But if you have good thoughts, then you want to continue to keep praying for those good blessings, and just recognizing those emotions. The next one is loving kindness meditation, which just cultivates compassion for yourself and others. So you're just basically praying and meditating that everyone that you know and love, and also the ones that you don't know, just understand and are able to get that self-compassion and self-love that everybody needs. On my next slide is just talks about mindfulness in the modern world. And my first point was that while rooted in ancient Buddhist traditions, mindfulness has become widely accepted for both mental and physical health. And in modern day, hospitals, corporations, schools are integrating this mindfulness technique into wellness programs to enhance its productivity. Three key modern applications today from mindfulness meditation are chronic pain relief, anxiety and depression treatment, and reducing of burnout. So reducing burnout, it helps healthcare professionals and employees manage their stress. I think this is a big one for a lot of people who are under stress, working day in day out, a 9 to 5 job, or just working 24/7 to make a living. For chronic pain relief, this is used as an alternative to opioids. So this is just not like Western medicine. This is just a regular way of living. Along with there's Western medicine and then TCI, but chronic pain relief is a big one that I think is super important. The next one, anxiety and depression treatment. This complements the therapy and the medication for it, and I believe this is the most important one for our society today, just because a lot of people just go straight for medication and therapy, but with meditation it creates a sense of your mind and just understanding where it really gets down to, and the root of it. So I think that anxiety and depression treatment, this really helps the people that face depression and anxiety. Myself personally, with anxiety, I feel like meditation has allowed me to reach a different peak, and to just understand the importance that it's okay to get help, with anxiety, or I dealt with anxiety, not depression, just anxiety, but people with both, or any other, um, I would say, illness, that people are dealing with. I feel like meditation is something that's really important. Um, so for the next one, we're just talking about the TCI system and its history of mindfulness-based stress reduction and mindfulness-based cognitive therapy. So both of these were developed. One was by John Cabot in the 1970s to help people cope with stress and chronic pain, and cognitive therapy was created to prevent depression relapse by combining mindfulness with cognitive behavioral therapy. And with these, I just found that it just goes into scientific evidence and real world applications for our real world. And mindfulness just reduces inflammation, lowers blood pressure, and enhances mental clarity. And I think that a lot of those who are in the military or that PTSD, or it just alters time perception, and it makes experiences, I would say, feel more immersive or profound, and they're able to have a better way of living. And I think that mindfulness meditation also encourages someone's well-being, including all of the beliefs such as Buddhist, Taoist, Catholic, all the traditions that usually start up as for meditation. And then mindfulness is just, I believe, is more than a practice. It's just a way of life, and by integrating this into our daily lives, it just enhances our well-being and resilience towards life, and it allows us to find a new way of living instead of being stressed out and having anxiety. I feel like being able to meditate and understand why you're having those certain type of thoughts, takes you a long way. And 4 different exercises that I've learned growing up are just close your eyes and just take a deep breath and take everything in, and understand everyone's here for a reason, and we all have a purpose in life. The next one is just notice when you're doing the meditation, just notice the sensation of the air entering and leaving your body. So when it's entering, you're breathing in all the bad thoughts that you're having, even the good thoughts. You're bringing it all in, and then you're just letting it out. You're starting fresh again, I believe. And then the next one is just observing your thoughts and understanding your emotions without it being a factor to where you're embarrassed or you don't want to speak up. And I think the biggest thing is just recognizing the problem before the thoughts, before you start meditating. So for my next one, there's a couple more slides that I had, which was the adoption part. And although mindfulness meditation is not a medication and does not need certain approval by the federal the government or nothing, it's recognized as an evidence-based medical intervention by different groups. And it is generalized anxiety disorder, which are symptoms that are essent in depressant type of relapses. And there's different programs for such as people like veterans or people in the military who have dealt with this. So I think those are the more people who have adopted these types of characteristics. And there's 2 different types of evidence, and then tested and approved. The evidence is that its effectiveness and safety in treating mental health issues, chronic pain, and general being, as I've said before. And then the tested and approved is that for mental health, it just talks about clinical trials on depression and anxiety. And then chronic pain management, just being able to meditate allows everything to slow down, and you're allowed to just understand why things are hurting. And then I would say the purpose of mindfulness meditation is definitely mental health, and definitely has health benefits such as reducing inflammation, lowering blood pressure, as I said before, and then chronic pain management. Also, this is just a recap of what I've said before. Now it's just diving more deep into it. I would say for mindfulness meditation, it just focuses on breathing, and it anchors awareness by paying attention to the intake and expiration of your breathing. Like I said before, body scans, observing the ideas. These are the most important parts for mindfulness meditation, and I feel like without these, we don't really understand what really mindfulness meditation really means. So, doing this presentation, I really got into looking for different evidence that I could see from other people. I even asked my teammates. We're on a trip right now in California, and I asked my different teammates, how do you deal with anxiety? How do you deal with depression? How do you deal with having PTSD if you have some? Like, do you like to get help? Do you like to just keep it to yourself? Do you like to talk to people? And I got a variety of different answers, and every answer is correct. There's no wrong answer, but I just wanted to see the different steps that people take. Not what I take, but so I could just see and gauge what other people go with as well. So I feel like that's super important. Just understanding that it's not just you that it's not just happening to you. There's other people in the world that it's happening to as well. So I think that's the most important part. So there's a compare and contrast between TCI and Western medicine. So I think that TCI, the indication part is that it's a spiritual enlightenment and self-awareness, and then the indication is also for treatment for anxiety, depression, and stress. The composition part of it is that it's rooted in Buddhism, Taoist, and other forms of traditions, and then the composition for the other one is just that it's a basic tradition structured as and it's guided by scientific frameworks in just clinical psychology. And then from doses and regimens, TCI traditionally practiced daily, just as spiritual and healthy routines. And then for doses and regimens for Western, it's typically 15 to 20 minutes per day. That's usually what usually happens. And then delivery, it's practiced individually or in groups in monasteries, temples, and cultural settings, often guided by monks or teachers or priests. And then for Western, it's delivered in hospitals, therapy clinics, or corporal wellness programs. And I think just understanding the difference between the two, this really allows yourself to understand what the difference between TCI and Western is, because there is a big difference between the two. And I feel like if you think Western and TCI are the same when it comes to mindfulness meditation, you're wrong. And I think I thought they were the same before doing this presentation, but just understanding, the different types of effects that Western does and then TCI does, it's a big difference in why we, do what we do. And for mindfulness meditation, maybe that's why a lot of people have, anxiety, depression, is because they don't, they're not familiar with the facts of, the facts of it, and the evidence that is provided by, the evidence that's provided, by our doctors or whatever. You can do whatever, TCI or Western, but as long as and understand the difference between the two, I think that'll, take it a long way. For my last slide here, I just had a couple fun facts. This project was really interesting to me, and I think that just being mindful can alter your brain physically. Like like I just said, if you know the difference between TCI and Western, I think it just alters your brain, and you're able to understand now what the main difference is. And I think that being mindful can also make time seem just to slow down. Like, you're not rushing always. You're not in a rush. You can just understand and visualize. Okay, I'm having a bad day, or I'm having bad thoughts, or I'm having good thoughts, and you can just understand the meaning behind those thoughts. And then those are the two fun facts that I researched, and I think that those are super important. Um, yeah, with that being said, thank you guys for listening to my presentation of mindfulness meditation, and have a good day. Thank you.